Welcome to Section 420, Talking Yankees, the podcast. Well, the Yankees didn't win the World Series, but at least somebody won something. Luis Gil will be your American League Rookie of the Year, according to Baseball Digest. With his record of 15-7, 3.50 ERA, and striking out 171 batters in 151.2 innings pitched there. So we'll give a little kudos to Luis Gil in this episode. Unfortunately, the Yankees don't bring home any gold gloves. There were three players in the running. That would be Soto in right field, Volpe at shortstop, and then Verdugo out in left field. But it turns out the Yankees would have none of that, unfortunately. But Luis Gil gets that. And as well as been some talk with some major sluggers, as you know, with Juan Soto scheduled to meet with Steve Cohen sometime next week, the Mets owner there. And of course, the news came down the other day that Brian Cashman at least reached out to Pete Alonso, the Met free agent, his camp there, and perhaps there might be some talks going on. And I'll kind of analyze that situation, which I don't prefer the Yankees pursue. So we'll get into the whole thing. But before we started, we've got the entire offseason ahead of us. There's a lot of moves to be made, even though there's no baseball on the field. There's a lot going off the field, so you don't want to miss a beat. Get caught up and get my opinion and takes on stuff here. So wherever you're listening, make sure you subscribe right now. And there's also a YouTube version of the show, not updated as frequently as this, but because you want to see me as well, and there might be some new things in there, so you want to catch it all. Go to YouTube, Section 420 Talking Yankees. Subscribe there as well. So Luis Gil, we kind of figured that he was in the running to be, Rookie of the Year. You kind of figured that was the case. And even early in the season, when the Yankees, the starting rotation got off to a great start, even with Garrett Cole not there and not available yet, the Yankee rotation looked strong, and people were almost whispering, hey, Luis Gil, could he possibly even be the MVP because he got off to a great start? Now, as the season went along, as you expected as a rookie, he did start hit the wall a little bit. You figured, because it's his first time doing this. He last pitched really in 2022, had the Tommy John surgery, missed the entire 2023 season, and really it was the spring training where, we were sure we were going to get out of Luis Gil, but very impressive. It was really that final start he had against the Phillies where he struck out 8 batters that really sealed a deal for Boone to name him the 5th starter. And since he's been there the whole way. And he might have had one stint on the IL, but other than that, just for a rookie, doing this for the first time, pretty durable. So, I think in normal circumstances, that's probably why his ERA ballooned a little bit, because again, the summer there, it kind of looks like he lost a little bit of his mojo and took a while to sort of get back. But he did kind of rebounded himself and had, again, a respectable end to the season. And, a couple games he did pitch in the postseason, at least respectable, durable. He had a long period off. They used him for 4 innings against the Cleveland Guardians. And, of course, he pitched, a couple innings that was, again, decent. Not great, but decent against the Dodgers there. But, again, they couldn't really ride him for too long, just with the time he had off and everything else there. But, again, a good season for Luis Gil, the first time in pinstripes. Some other, just some interesting stats which helped seal the deal for him. He had 17 starts with 1 or more less earned runners, which was tied with Struble of Detroit. And if you look at his 171 strikeouts, it's the second most by a Yankee rookie, and you'll have to go all the way back to Russ Ford, who had 209 strikeouts all the way back in 1910 there. And, of course, now he becomes the 3rd Yankee Rookie of the Year, followed by Aaron Judge, who did it in 2017, and, of course, the other captain, Derek Jeter, who did it in 1996. And, just hopefully, again, if he recovered well from the Tommy John, he seemed like he did, and seems like a bit of a future ahead of him. So let's see if he could take the next step next year and becoming, just one of those elite pitchers, more than just a rookie. And, again, he's got the good velocity, he's got the good stuff, and hopefully he'll build up his endurance for next season. He'll be able to go deeper into games, have a bigger season, be able to lug some more innings. And again, they had to kind of manage his innings because it's the first time he was doing this, so they'll probably be able to let him off the leash a little bit more in 2025. So again, congratulations to Luis Gil there. And in other news, as you expect, Juan Soto said he's open to anybody. And of course, you figure the Mets with Steve Cohen, he was going to come and swoop him and try to woo him there, so that's going to be the deal. I heard some rumors that supposedly they're going to offer him like a 12-year, $650 million contract, but I don't think anything's really been officially announced as an offer. I think this more now did confirm at least a meeting between Steve Cohen and Soto for next week, which I wouldn't take it one way or the other. Look, he's just going to go out there and listen to everybody. He's probably going to get a meeting with the Dodgers. He's probably going to get a meeting with the other Los Angeles team, the Angels there. So, I wouldn't take it mean like he's gone or anything like that. It's just he's just going to, dot the T's and cross the I's and take all these meetings and take all these offers and see what's out there. Yamamoto did the same deal last offseason with the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Mets. So, you always go to the 3 teams who have the most money and see what the best deal you get. So, I don't take it a signal one way or another. And supposedly Hal Steinbrenner and Soto had a secret meeting during the summer where I'm sure Steinbrenner expressed his wish to keep Soto in pinstripes. So I think the motivation's there. It's just going to be a matter of the money. So I wouldn't put too much stock in that. But what I was a little surprised finding out the other day that Brian Cashman actually reached out to Pete Alonso's camp with some possible interest there, which I wouldn't want to know why. I mean, I just don't think he'd be a good fit for the Yankees. Look, he's a great player, but he's a right-handed slugger, and we kind of have that already with Judge, and we kind of have that already with Giancarlo Stanton. Now, obviously, he's in the prime of his career. He's 29 years old, but like, what type of deal is this guy going to look for? I mean, if this guy wants a 10-year deal, now you're going to be stuck with him until he's 40 years old, and you know what's going to happen with this guy. He's going to break down and all that stuff. I don't be cliche, but it's just the writing's on the wall, this guy. Now, yes, does he give you power, and does he solve your problem at first base, which right now is void with Rizzo pretty much going to be out the door? So yeah, he does solve that problem. And you know what, if that was the option for the next 3-4 years, that's not terrible. But would he be willing to take a 4 or 5 year deal that's just front loaded like crazy? Maybe that would make sense, but I just don't think the Yankees want to do it, because now you're talking about you have to pay this guy like $40 million a year. I mean, that's like starting pitcher money. I just don't think it's a good fit for the Yankees. And I mentioned before, home runs and power is not the issue, and the Yankees led all the majors last season in home runs. And that's with Judge having really a bad April and Stanton, missing a chunk of the season with an injury. So if those two were healthy, those numbers have even been more astronomical. So I just don't think they need another right-handed power hitter. It just doesn't make sense for the Yankees. And I would rather them take that money and put it towards Soto and maybe some other resources, the bullpen, stuff like that, other than Pete Alonso. And what this gets about him is not that he's a right-handed slugger, but he's not really. He doesn't hit for average. I know you can make up for that with slugging and power and home runs, but other than his .249 career batting average is low. Now he recovered a little bit better this season. I'll grant you that, but still 2 seasons ago he played a full season. He only hit .217. I mean, that's too much swing and miss. That's we just don't need a guy like that. To me, that's like going backwards, not going forwards. And with Giancarlo Stanton, yes, we did get a good 2024 out of him overall. You could say yes, but it's hard to see if he's going to duplicate the same thing. He's not going to be the Giancarlo Stanton as we saw during his playoff run, where he was just absolutely on fire and crushing everything. I mean, it'd be nice if we had that guy. I just think that was a little bit of a mirage in a short amount of time, short amount of games there. So I just would not want any part of Pete Alonso. Again, I mentioned before, 29 years old. The difference with Soto is 26. If Alonso was 25, 26, maybe that's a little bit more entertaining. This guy's gonna be 30 years old already, and then you can have him for like 6 years, 7 years, and he's a first baseman. He's okay, but he's not like Gold Glove caliber defense. He's not Mark Teixeira there. So usually if you want to pay a little extra for a Gold Glove caliber defensive first baseman, maybe you can make the case. But I just don't see that with Pete Alonso, and we just don't need another right-handed power hitter. We have that with Judge. We got that with Stanton overall. So I just don't think we need a thumper there. So I think the Yankees should pass on that one. And I don't think put too much stock in anything. Look, he's a free agent. He's one of the big name free agents out there. So sure, you're gonna make a phone call, just test the waters, test the inquiry there, but I just don't see Pete Alonso as a good fit for the Yankees. I would not want that move, even though, yes, he's a good player, probably hit a ton of home runs, he's a 4-time All-Star, but I don't like the low batting average. If he feels more like a 280, 290 hitter, more of a contact hitter as well as power, then I'd entertain him more. But I don't want a guy that's either a home run or strikeout. Again, we've had too many of those guys the past couple of seasons, even though Alonso could be better than a lot of those guys. I'm not saying Alonso is Josh Donaldson, but I just don't think that's a good fit for the Yankees. So that's the episode. Luis Gil, Rookie of the Year, American League Rookie of the Year as a starting pitcher. No Gold Gloves defensively. Not really a big deal. I could really care less about that. But it looks like the Mets are going to try to woo Soto. We'll see how far and how serious those talks get. And, of course, the Yankees at least placing a phone call to Pete Alonso, which I just don't think that's a good fit for the Yankees. I just don't see that happening. I just think this is out of going through the motions for Cashman, but I wouldn't put any stock in everything. So we'll catch you on the next episode.